Good morning, everyone, or whenever you get to see this video, whatever time of day it is. Good day. Yeah, I'm tired, as you can see, but that's all on me. I'm running on about 2 hours. But anyways, I hope you all had a good Hallmark day yesterday, and of course, as you guys see on, the humor and posts on the book and such, hopefully you made good decisions last night, because either I think I seen a couple of them saying, like, in 9 months you can either be camping or you can be changing diapers. So yeah, but now it's nice and lovely, and it was like literally sleeting overnight, because as I was sitting there sleeping and well, at least attempting to go to sleep, I can literally hear the sleet bouncing off of the AC unit in my window. No, I don't have my AC running during the winter, but I am one of those people. I do have a fan on every night. It does not matter how cold it gets. I am one of those. I mainly think, and I'm pretty certain for the majority of us, that the reasoning of having excuse me, the reasoning of having the fan on is simply for the noise. That's one thing I do like. Then again, I'm also a person, I don't necessarily get cold all that often. Some of you out there that actually do know me personally, it does not matter how cold it gets, I can rock shorts literally 365. Now, with being a dasher full time, excuse me, I've been rocking PJs here a lot lately, and obviously there's a lot more shit that you can do when you're your own boss, because you don't have anybody there to tell you, you don't have a dress code and all that shit. I mean, obviously, I'm covered, but the fuck? Oh, that's water. That's a lot of sitting water, but not surprising. Excuse me. But so anyhow, yeah. But that's one thing. There's obviously many perks to being your own boss, and like especially doing what I do. Is anybody out there, I'm pretty certain you're very well aware of, what DoorDash is. I mean, it's obviously, I would think it's kind of in its own description and its own title, but being able to wear the PJs, dude, I mean, they're cozy as hell, and especially like rainy days like right now, I could literally lay in bed, excuse me, aside of the fact of only having, like 2 hours of sleep, again, on me. But I don't know about you guys out there, but when it comes to rain, it most certainly, it's the only thing I personally even like about rain, is it's comfortable to sleep to. Now, being out working in it, excuse me, that's a whole different ballgame to me personally. I would have to say, out of any type of weather, looks like I don't mean to like interrupt myself on that, but as I was taking the kiddo to work, there's like, I literally think it's like a Dodge Caravan or something. I'm gathering with the ice and such that we got overnight, that I think that somebody kind of ran off the road and parked in the middle of a cornfield or whatever type of things that they plant over there. But yeah, we're gonna go around, so you guys might see some flashing lights here in a minute. But yeah, it's literally like a black Dodge Caravan, and yeah, I don't even think that this is not even going to be an angle that you guys are even going to be able to see the lighting or anything behind me. But yeah, anyhow. I mean, it would make sense. It did sleet here last night, so I'm sure in like this road that I'm driving now, right now, 177, so anybody that knows of 177, it's basically Main Street, High Street, 129. It's literally the same exact road. It's just, I mean, you guys know, I'm sure, in the town that you live in or whatever, that one road could have a multitude of names. Excuse me. I can't stand that, like, waking up and, like, always having to freaking clear my throat and such. But, yeah, I mean, in ways I don't necessarily really have, like, besides of working for myself, I don't have any real subject matter for the video. I just kind of wanting to say good morning. I hope you guys have a good weekend, you know, since yesterday was Friday and, you know, the good old Hallmark holiday. And excuse me, I hope and wish you well that, you know, like I said, you had a good evening and also a good weekend. I'm going to get out here and try to stay as dry as possible while doing these dashes, but yeah, you know, it's like I don't know, yesterday, because you guys know usually I've been trying to stay in like Hamilton, Fairfield, like those surrounding areas. Now granted, obviously they are a bigger grid. I mean, I've dashed all the way down into like almost damn near downtown Cincinnati. Excuse me. But with being up here, now granted, I'm not trying to sound mean or anything by any means, but I know I'm not the only one, because I know, of course, I'm in an Uber Lyft group, so of course they a lot of them actually live up here. I mean, I live in Oxford, but not in the actual college part of Oxford. But it's definitely, I mean, being in the college town, you know, or even on the outskirts, if you do gig work like I do, and I did used to do Uber a few years back, but I currently do not have a vehicle that is new enough in order to do so. Which, of course, if I did, yeah, I'd be burning Uber up because, hey, people need rides for whatever type of reasoning that it may be. But personally, nowadays, I had not had a car payment in at least 5 years. And I don't know about you guys, I am more than okay with driving a vehicle that was given to me, which I am above and beyond grateful for. But that's one thing that's great about DoorDash. It does not have a specified year in order to do so. So, and you guys know as well as I do, everybody's got to eat. That's just kind of a thing in life that you kind of have to do in order to, you know, survive. So, so I figured, I was like, you know what, can't go wrong with it. Hey, you guys know I love being my own boss. I mean, I know I've mentioned it in a plethora of videos. And of course, I can also dash in any state. You don't have to worry about the age of your vehicle, and like, especially like up here. So it's kind of like the Uber Eats and DoorDash. I mean, I'm not going to exclude Lyft. There very well may be other services out there, like even like Grubhub. I'm not signed up for Grubhub or anything, but I'm not 100% certain, but I would say at least a good strong 90% certain that I want to say it's kind of like high school, like the freshman, sophomore, junior, senior for college, if I'm not mistaken. If I am wrong, by all means, feel free to correct me, but I don't think I am. But as far as I'm aware, and I don't know about all colleges, but like I said, I'm pretty certain that up here, for your freshman year, regardless of your age. I mean, obviously, by the time you get into college, unless you're actually very, very intelligent, and I'm not trying to knock on you if you are by any means, but typically, once your first year going into college, most likely you're 18, and I would about imagine statewide, or not statewide, but like all 50 states, that you have to be at least 16 or 15 and a half or whatever in order to get your license. My point being with that is, with the freshman class, I'm almost certain, and which, I mean, it makes sense on a lot of levels. Sorry guys, I know I'm always like doing all this shit, but it's like kind of a life, at least with my beard and mustache, just like that shit gets itchy and everything. So I do apologize ahead of time for, that, because I do know that I am usually fidgeting with it or whatever, but hey, I mean, it itches, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm almost like very much certain that freshman class, that they're not allowed to drive their first year, because if you guys have been up here, I mean, it's a small town, but big at the same time. But I couldn't even tell you how many thousands of students that are here, and of course you got 4 different classes. That's a lot of people, and you think about it when it comes down to individual people, that's a lot of vehicles. There's not enough parking up here for everyone. So like I said, I'm about 90% certain that dang, I am sorry that that their first year, that it's I didn't even notice that banner sitting right there. That you're not allowed to drive, which I mean to me that makes sense. I mean, you got 4 classes, and say just for a long shot, that, now mind you, obviously, and I'm pretty certain that this is not the only college that is like this by any means. I would highly doubt it, but literally people from across the planet, it doesn't fucking matter what country that you are initially from. It's, I guess the word that you would say is multicultural. I could be wrong on terminology of it or whatever, but I think you guys get and understand. Like, literally, whenever I did dashing, dumbass, when I did Uber, I literally talked to people that were from, I mean, all over the place. But I mean, what I'm getting at is, say your freshman class is 5,000 students. That's 5,000 extra cars on top of the other, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or maybe it might be freshman, yeah, I'm still trying to wake up, my bad, guys. Anyhow, you get what I'm saying. It's just like, so for that very beginning class, for whatever the name of the class is, that entire class, as far as I'm aware, no, you guys don't get to drive or anything, because if you guys been up here, it's, like I said, it's a small town. They have parking garages and such, like, all over, and like even the big old dorms, they have their, some of them have their own parking lots. But I mean, I totally get and understand, if they're not allowed to have a car and such, because simply, where the fuck are you going to put them at? So that's why I'm sitting there saying, with even like with DoorDash or Grubhub, Uber Eats, that whole mess there, or even with the rideshare services, it makes sense of why we stay so busy on any of those platforms. Because if you have an entire class that doesn't have any way to be able to transport themselves, kind of keeps us busy, and Plus, I mean, in ways too, you think about it, the less amount of people on the road, I mean, let's just be fair. The less amount of people on the road, especially in a small town, the better. And I'm not trying to be mean, rude, or disrespectful here, but it's kind of, I mean, it's not just here either, but if you know, you know, a lot of them just can give two fucks less about paying any bit of attention. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I might hurt some feelings there or whatever, but sometimes the simple truth, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know how many times I've countless, and it doesn't matter what class, sitting there watching, and it's not just the students, so I'm not just like knocking on you guys by any means. I've literally seen the parents and grandparents do the same shit of walking across the street, not paying a bit of attention at all. Whatever's on that screen is way more important than that car or truck driving down the road. So, I mean, again, it is what it is on that, because, yeah, so if you have that least amount of vehicles for all of them up here, and you have, shit, I mean, I've seen nights where, now, granted, I don't do Lyft or anything, and I don't do Uber anymore either, but I do remember when I did do Uber, I had both, of course, my driver app, and I had the app, of course, to where you could actually book a ride. And obviously, I think all of us had that. And I mean, it actually is a pretty smart thing to do on the driver's end, because you go into an area, you have the app in order to book a ride, you're going to be able to see how many drivers are in said area. So, I mean, yeah, it does help, because when sorry guys, when I did Uber, it was nice of having that, because, like, say, like, I'm up here now, I'm gonna chill out here at McDonald's until I finish up this, and then good chances are I'll probably, I don't know, I'll either get this or I might even get Wendy's. I'm not certain, but yeah, I mean, it was nice to be able to peep the app and see of how many drivers were up here, because I'm telling you, like, especially when it came to obviously it's like it's a one time a year thing, and it's either typically on St. Patrick's Day or within like a day or so before or after, when they have Green Beer Day. And you talking about a little bitty town that not only does it already, like, on the weekends get down and partying, this town, I mean, I can't say I haven't been in any other college towns, but to be like working wise, yeah, they get down. And of course, you know, with Green Beer Day, yes, they dye the beer green with, I'm gathering, food coloring and such. But mostly, I mean, of course, they'll drink, you know, throughout the night or whatever, but if I'm not mistaken, all the bars open up at 5:30 a.m. And you talking about, I mean, 5:30 in the morning, most people are either, I mean, unless you work a third shift, you're at work, or you're at home chilling, or you're asleep, depending on what shift of, you know, work that you're on and such. Excuse me. But, dude, seeing the town popping at 5:30 in the morning, it's honestly, it's kind of cool. It's really fucking crazy, because, I mean, obviously, already you need to pay attention when you're behind the wheel of the road and everything else, because obviously you're driving, you know, a vehicle, and it's, you know, it can hurt, you know, if somebody happens to walk in front of you, or, you know, something of that nature, which obviously nobody wants that. But man, I've seen some wicked Green Beer Days. So Excuse me. Next time I make a video, guys, I won't make one where I've only had 2 hours of sleep, because I apologize. I'm not sitting here trying to be a freaking yawn box, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm just as human as you guys are. You don't get much sleep, especially if it's on your own. You know, it is what it is. But, no, I mean, that's pretty much, I think, for the general gist of it. Is like, I didn't, like, in my mind, I didn't really have, like, full on, like, a point, if you will, of making a video. I just wanted to kind of say, like, for one, it's just like, you know, good morning, and I hope you guys have a, you know, good, as I call it, a V-Day / Hallmark Day, because we all know that it's pretty much a Hallmark holiday. Yeah, I was just pretty much wanting to say, you know, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you had a great last night, and, to enjoy your weekend. Like, I know I kind of I kind of touched the course on Valentine's Day. Oh, I'm annoying myself. I do apologize, like, solely, I do. But yeah, it's like, I figured I'd kind of comment on Valentine's Day, and then, of course, obviously, DoorDashing and Uber. Like I said, I don't even do it anymore. I was like, but, you know, I did do it at one given point, and, you know, basically kind of touch base on that. So kind of a triple kind of category kind of type of a video. But hey, you know, I'm always brainstorming of ideas to make videos for you guys. And as you see, you know, hell, yesterday I was slammed, which I was not surprised by any means. I mean, it was Valentine's Day, and dang, dude. I didn't think semis came to the parking lot like that. It's not a very big parking lot, but obviously they gotta get food in order to restock the store. Excuse me, or the restaurant rather. But yeah, I guess I'm gonna wrap this up, because if I was you guys, I would be kind of annoyed. Like, dude, like, you're making a video and, like, you can't even talk for 3 minutes without freaking yawning 10 times. But my own fault. But yeah, so oh well, I'll give you guys kind of like a little bit of a recap. So, like, last night, and then I'll end it after this. So of course I was dashing, I think it was like for 10 hours or so. So I stayed busy pretty much the entire day yesterday. I think maybe collectively like a half hour I wasn't busy, and that's within a 10-hour period. So as you can tell, throughout a 10-hour period, I mean, half hour is not very much time to not be doing something. But whenever I got home, I was sitting there chilling with mom, the kiddo, and our boyfriend. And many of you out there, you may not have seen this movie, but I have a good feeling that a whole lot of y'all out there have seen it. White Chicks. Dude. I haven't seen that movie in a good minute, and geez, I'm so sorry. Man, that shit's hilarious. It really is. So yeah, that was the nightcap of hanging out with them, having chocolate chip cookies, and then the kiddo and her boyfriend got, it was something that looked like obviously you got to put cookies in the oven in order to cook them. As far as I'm aware, I've always been under the impression and knowing that you got to put cookie dough, or, you know, whatever form of cookie, into the oven in order to bake them. But of course they were like little cookies, and then like they had like the little circle in the middle of them with a heart, hence Valentine's Day. But yeah, that was fun. Sat down there, and I might just title this freaking video the yawn video, because good lord, it was good. I enjoyed some cookies and hanging out with them, and, you know, watching the movie. And of course afterwards the brain wouldn't shut down, and I don't think I literally fell asleep until like anywhere between like 6 and 6:30 this morning, and I was right back up and leaving that house by 8:40. So yeah, you do the math. It's like not very much, but I'm up and here at McDonald's. So I think I want to end this video and get me something to eat because I'm a little hungry. So that's why I'm debating. I was like, do I want McDonald's or do I actually want to drive up the street and get me some Wendy's? I'm not gonna lie, Wendy's honestly sounds a little bit better. So yeah, you guys have a fantastic weekend. Hopefully you stay dry. It's not raining, or I personally like snow. I would take snow all day long over rain. That's just me. But yeah, you guys have an excellent weekend, and we'll see you probably later on today, tomorrow. You know, as a lot of YouTubers out there saying, you can't go anywhere on YouTube if you're not on YouTube, which, I mean, it makes sense, because, you know, I've had a couple days, not saying like I don't, you know, gain, you know, a sub or two throughout the week or whatever, but if you're not putting some type of content on here to where, you know, you're making an effort to try to build your channel, then it's not going to, at least I wouldn't think. And so yeah, so whether it's in a short or in a video or streaming, we'll see you guys later. Have an excellent weekend.